Hey guys, Ian Alexander here. I wanted to do a video explaining what happened at the ASMRP Lounge and changes to my channel. If this is not gonna be a story video, so if you're not interested at all, click off. You're fine. I will not be upset. If you just want to know what happened, I'll say it here in the next second, and then after that, I'll go into explanation if you want to know. So what has happened is I have opened up a Patreon exclusive server. As long as you're a member, active member, have an active subscription on Patreon, you are welcome on the server. Absolutely. If you are the ASMR RP Lounge will be open for a little bit longer. Not for maybe a couple of months or whether we're going to let it wind down. The decision was to let it just kind of die a natural death, if you will. But I am going to exclusively be on my Patreon server and a little bit on Dream server because I do moderate over there, but really just kind of doing admin-y things, not like super active over there whatsoever. What led us to this decision? A few things led to this decision. The server was originally my server, and I brought over friends to kind of, like girlfriends like Dream and Star to, and Nightmare to hang out and have fun. And it was great. And when other VAs were to find us on the server, they didn't know we were best friends in real life. So they asked for a tag too. So we allowed them to have tags. And then, we eventually made a writer tag because some people were writers and they wanted recognition for it. But the purpose, once we became a community, was for fans to meet VAs. So we started I got some criticism that we weren't doing enough for writers, but that was never our intent, was to do really too much for writers, because the intent was for a place for fans to meet with VAs. Over time, we were originally a server for everyone. We did become 18 plus because there was a situation where an inappropriate thing happened and we had to call the authorities. I'm going to leave it at that because it is an active and open investigation, and I've been asked by the authorities to not say too much, and that is as much as I can say. And we went to 18 plus after that, and that led me to becoming super paranoid and super mean, honestly. Anyone that I was mean to, I'm going to say a heartfelt, I'm sorry. I became a person I did not want to be because I became so hyper vigilant, and scared that it was going to happen again. Not an excuse. That is just the reason why, and it's what's led to me deciding this. Because when I first started that server, I was so carefree, like flirty and super lewd, and I just wanted to have fun and have a place where I could cut back and like have a couple of shots at night and play some video games and giggle. And it was super fun, and it's even been super fun in the past couple of weeks, but I noticed the last few months it's dissipated and absolutely led to the end of my previous relationship. I became so cranky and there was so much drama. There was always so much drama behind the scenes that you guys never saw, intentionally. And a lot of it stemmed from me just being overly stressed, going through every post that was ever posted there and wondering, is this person a minor? Wait, they said this over here. They said that over there. It became too much. And also just, and I'm gonna say this is more on me. This is not on them, but we started having a lot of VAs that were self-promoting, but not really active on the server. So when we actually started like trying to enforce that rule, I got so much pushback. And I'm not trying to say anything about the people that pushed back on it, because when you get used to the way things are, and then they change up, even though it is, hey, we're actually going to follow the rules now, it can feel targeted. I can see how someone could feel like they themselves are being targeted, whereas other people are not. Because they don't see the private messages that we're sending to other people. They don't know what's going on. They just know that, hey, I've enjoyed it here. I've been acting in this accordance. I'm a good person with good intent. And now things are changing up, and people don't like change, and people don't like feeling like they're being told that they've done something wrong when they have just been acting in accordance to how everyone else is. But it did cause me a lot of stress, and I did get called a lot of names, both to my face and behind my back, that I saw screenshots of, and I didn't like it. I did not like the constant looking over my shoulder, the constant second guessing what I'm saying, I didn't like it. And we did have staff. People were like, well, you should lean on staff more. But also, staff of Discord servers are rarely paid. My intention was to eventually get to the point that they were paid, but I couldn't be consistent in anything that I was doing, which was another problem. When I wanted to be consistent, because I was constantly dealing with drama from other people's stuff, and it sucked. It sucked so hard. And then I would get in these bad moods, and it's really hard to be creative when you're in a bad mood. So I had to make the executive decision that since my happy place is making daily content, and it really is, people are like, you're overworking yourself. Okay, but I'm doing things that make me happy. So I'm just recording the thing that I would be doing privately anyways. So I'm doing the thing that makes me happy, and I'm losing that because I'm so stressed out and I'm so anxious, and I'm becoming someone that I don't want to be. So I had to decide to pull back from that. And I'm not blaming anybody. Again, those that had not been following the rules, but they were following, like, there's the difference. There's de facto and there's de jure. We had the de facto rule of promote the server was actually one of the rules in the beginning, but we even dropped that because I didn't want to have to police people. I didn't want to have to go to channels and check on people, and I didn't want to have to babysit and make sure people are following the rules. But we said promote the server at first. We dropped that, and then it was just be active. I also didn't want to go check on that and like go through bot logs and police that. It was just too difficult. So I decided I had to stop some of the admin stuff. And again, in order to be able to pay my mod staff, because again, I believe in paying mods and whatnot as soon as you can, I would need them to then take up this mantle while I got stuff done so I could pay them. But then they're volunteers, so if they didn't get it done, I can't be mad at them. It became a lot. And a lot of people were like, well, just get more staff. That's not easy. It's not easy to find people that you trust enough to bring on to staff, to give them power over other people, to make sure that, and then you have to check on them and make sure that they're like learning the staff culture, that they're, anyways, it's hard to catch people up to speed, but it's even harder to trust people. And it's hard. That also requires like getting to then know people in order to be able to trust them. I think hopefully someone understands what I mean. Like, I had the staff that I had because I had trusted these people, and I still do trust them. They're all great. Everybody who was a staff, seriously, thank you for everything that you guys did do, because you went through a lot. It was a lot. And also I felt that my staff was being stressed out. They were, because it just felt like every day there was something new blowing up, and it was difficult, and it wasn't fun. It was becoming not a fun place for staff. And if staff isn't having fun, then it's hard to have a community where people are having fun. And it's not as simple as just find more staff, because that means you have to find people that you then trust to give the chance. And it's just, the decision was made, and it wasn't an easy decision. Like, for months, some of the solutions to some of the problems was, well, maybe if I had my own server, but I knew if I went and made my own server, I would spend majority of my time there. I am 90% of the joins. I was super active on the ASMR RP Lounge. And if I pulled back being active there, then the people joining to talk to me aren't talking to me. And then but if they also joined Patreon, they're on my Patreon server. So I'm talking to them. Why would they be active over here? This place would slowly die. And everybody agreed based off of the numbers and everything that we saw on the back end, because Discord does give you insights on who's most active, where people are joining from, so on and so forth. And we tried to not come to this conclusion, but it just got to the point where it's time to pull the trigger. And I will say, like, staff has been pretty happy over here. Today is the first day of the server. I do want to apologize to everybody, because I did not realize it was going to say hello to 300 plus people who joined in the matter of 15 minutes. I was both giggling because it was funny, but also going, like fire burning. Stop, make it stop. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and you guys were super understanding, and I really, really appreciate it. And again, I want to say a heartfelt I'm sorry to anyone who felt like over the past couple of months that geez, Xena is a bitch. Because the truth of the matter of fact is I probably am. I probably am, but I'm not usually this bad. I usually choose to laugh over snap, but like I've been just the snappiest person. And today was something that I feared doing, something that I considered not doing, something I fought against. It's something that even when we did it, I was questioning if it was the right decision. 10 minutes afterwards, I felt so much better. It's been like this huge boulder is off my chest. Um, this huge boulder is off my chest. So, anyways, yeah, over time with the RP Lounge, we are going to be making some more changes. I am not active over there in terms of like chatting, but there is a staff chat still, and we're just slowly closing down some more stuff since we're probably there's going to be some more changes that are going to come down because as most of the staff also is no longer active over there. That means we have to close down more chats so that it's easier to monitor what's going on. For those of us who are checking to make sure like nothing terrible's happening over there. And it's going to become more and more of a little desert town. And there are people who are reaching out to other people who are creating like group chats and other servers. And I highly encourage you guys to do that if you don't want to come over to my new server, which is fine. Method has a server as well, as long as you're 18 plus that you can head over to. I'm sorry for those who are disappointed too. This is not easy. It's not easy to like set up a home and get happy there and then have it go away. But it was a hard decision to make. As happy as I sound for having done it, I know it was the right decision to me, but I knew it's hard being on the other end of that, having something that you liked that goes away. But I also remember things are with us for seasons and reasons. And the season for this one closed, and the reasoning for it was great. And it was great for what it was when it was. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There's so many memories that I'm going to have on that server that are great. So many wonderful, wonderful memories. I've met so many of you guys, and I'm very happy for those moments, and I'm very excited for the moments going forward. And even the bad times taught me a lot about myself and a lot changed my views on things, most of which for the better, I like to believe. It wasn't an easy decision to make, for sure. But I'm glad I got to make it. And I really thought for a while that I was creating something that this community, the ASMR roleplay community, didn't have when it got to a certain point. And then come to find out, some other people were like, no, other people have tried and they ran into similar issues. It's not easy. And I blame nobody. Like, why would you want to put a ton of time into a server that's not your own? Because that person could delete it. You could get banned. There's a whole, just because they don't like you or whatever. I understand the apprehension behind everybody. I don't think that there, other than that one person we had to call the authorities on, there was no bad guy. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I understand why everyone had the stance that they had. People liked it. They felt that the engagement that they were giving it was enough and that they should be able to keep their tags, and other people were doing less, so why can't they keep their tags? I freaking understand it, especially from an outside perspective. When you're not on the inside, you don't see the DMs that are happening, you don't see the tickets that are happening, you don't see the stuff we're discussing in staff chat, you don't understand other people's circumstances. All anyone ever has is the lens that they have, and our lenses can be very limited sometimes. So, all right, I've babbled on enough. I have to go delete over 300 links, actually close to 500 links, which will be fun. And then, of course, I have videos that mention the lounge in them, which also, you're going to be noticing some videos already gone away. They are on my Patreon. More videos on this channel are probably going to be disappearing here soon as I take a slightly more tamer route, but I will still have my exceptionally sassy stuff, sassy, spacey stuff on my Patreon. That's not changing. And if you guys want to come chill and hang out and have fun and giggle and laugh with me, I am on the new server, which you can access by being a member on Patreon. And if you can't, that's fine. Like, if you can't, I understand. I have been homeless. I have rolled the dice on botulism by digging through people's trash. This was not a money move whatsoever. This was a Xena is having mental breakdowns every day and crying. I literally spent the last 3 or 4 months crying almost on a nightly basis at some point. And this was just something that had to happen so I can get my sanity back and I can get back to the things that I love to do, which is creating, which is making stories, which is taking stories of my life and turning them into fictional form, because I've had a crazy life. In my short life, I've lived many lifetimes, is what Dream likes to say. I think if I were to write an actual autobiography, no one would believe it, because how did all that happen to one person? I don't know. And it's documentable. Like, it's so funny. Star has known me the longest. Starlit Audios has known me the longest of anyone. And a lot of my stories I told her of my childhood, she didn't believe, because she's like, that couldn't happen all one person. But then she, like, seeing the stuff that happens to me on the daily, she's like, I don't know why, but you're like a chaos magnet. So anyways, I like taking those and turning them into fictionalized versions, because it's a really great form of therapy. And also I like it. And I want to get back to that. I want to get back to hanging out with you guys and having fun. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Again, I don't know how long this video is going to stay up. So, thank you. Thank you for everyone who made the ASMR RP Lounge what it was. And if you are unable to continue on this journey, I I do mean thank you. And I hope only the best things happen to you, genuinely. Because you guys have made some of the coolest things happen for me.